Good morning, guys. I hope this message finds you well. And I apologize that I could not be there to hang out with you guys in person, as I always enjoy spending time with our school principals. I would like to also thank our principals and assistant principals for their excellent work. And I hope that you guys, through the small tokens that we tried to extend today, realize how appreciative we are to the service that you provide for our staff and all of our stakeholders, but most importantly, our kids. So thank y'all very much for that. And I hope that somebody saved a waffle for this guy. I just want to run through a couple things real quick, guys, that I would have pointed out, but in my absentia, I thought that this video would be the next best thing. Just be glad there's not a webcam, because I'm not looking so hot this morning. Over here you see the classroom connections. Please reach out to Mr. Hicks if you have staff that haven't gone this year so far. They have until the November 19th to go, and then after that it'll be January before they can go again. So please encourage them to go, because it's free supplies, and if it's free, it's me. You do have the operations department updates up here that some of you may have reviewed, but those are also down here later on in the agenda. Dr. Stegall will be able to provide some clarification, edification from the fall law conference. These were just things that kind of jumped out at us. I had planned to pull together some little vignettes from some of the sessions that we had. I will plan to do that in the upcoming principals meetings, and again, just didn't have time to get those together for you guys. But Mr. Shatley, when he came and talked to us about transgender items and EC items, those were definitely two of the presentations that drew a lot of questions and everything at the law conference, and so you guys have already been kind of trained and spoken with regarding that. But we'll get some of the other session notes to you guys. The operations department folks will share some of these items with you, but if you do click that link, you'll see where we embed some of the items that of import for that month. I've asked Ms. Rudisell to come and share the workflow survey with you guys. Beginning next Monday, when we'll be in a new month, we're going to start tracking our work orders using a survey format, where both the sender as well as Ms. Rudisell will get a copy of the instrument, so that every time a work order gets put in, she will have a copy that she can print up for her maintenance guys, and then it will populate a spreadsheet, and that way, instead of you guys having to wonder what's the status, when Ms. Rudisell and I meet each week, we're going to spend time going through and updating the statuses of these items, so that you will have some idea of where we are in the process of getting your work order addressed. So hopefully you guys will like that. Ms. Maynard, I asked her to come in and talk about facility use documents. This is just kind of a placeholder. She has some paper samples that she's going to bring. It's extremely important, guys, that when we have fundraiser activities, and a couple that I'm just thinking of offhand would be like Maggie's Run, and I think Mr. Freud from the high school was wanting to do a run of some sort. It's very, very important that we use the facility use process, even if there is no charge to the school group who's wanting to do the fundraiser. The fact is, if we're bringing folks to our campus, there is always potential for harm and obviously liability. And so this just kind of was impressed upon us at the law conference, that we need to make sure that we have some way of protecting ourselves from litigation. And when we have a school event, you know, it is what it is. You have a ball game, or you have graduation or something like that, or a parent day at your school. But when you have something that's kind of out of the bounds of that, you need to make sure that we have some type of liability insurance. And this can be provided through a lot of insurance companies and vendors. And so we just wanted to make sure that you guys are aware that's very, very important. And I know Ms. Maynard will speak to it, and Dr. Stegall can chime in. But it's for your protection, and it's for our protection as a system. And this also includes non-school groups. That's part of the facility use process. They have to either state that they're waiving us of liability, or that they have proof of liability insurance. And I think that we're kind of going now with the straight up, you've got to have proof that you've got liability insurance, or you can't have the event. And this again is for your protection, for my protection. Please note the finance department updates here that Ms. Houston included. These are also on the main agenda. Child nutrition, Ms. Gobin has a few items down here, and I did get to meet with Mr. Penley and Dr. Wisnett about the lunch charges piece, and we're kind of adjusting that whole protocol currently. There is a potential change to the policy for child nutrition charges, but again, that's something that's not ready to really be formally discussed, and so that'll be coming to a principal meeting near you. Some other items in here that will be covered by folks today at the session. And down at the bottom, there are two here. There's the policy updates that we usually get these twice a year, and what you see right here with the fall policy memo is kind of a vignette about each of the policies that the School Board Association, either based on law or based on current action that's been going on, they will make recommendations, and then we can take them to the board to see if they'd like to adopt them as policy. So you can review this memo, as I'll be taking it to the board these next 2 months. The second one kind of came a la carte, if you will, and it deals with professional standards for staff. A lot of times we talk about, what is professionalism and those kind of things, but it's usually not very clearly defined. It's just handle yourself, conduct yourself in a professional manner. This policy draft that came to us from the School Board Association, I thought did a real nice job of taking it down a little more towards the minutia of what does this mean. And so, you guys go through and take a look at that, and I think that will be very, very helpful, because a lot of times you have someone who maybe there's nothing in the evaluation rubric or instrument that jumps out as something that's concerning, but they're just not acting professionally. This will give you some tangible tenets to be able to help address those kind of things with that employee. All right, down here at the bottom, just a reminder about the bus hand signal training documentation. Most of you have gotten something to me, but we do have to have something in hand that shows staff are trained about the bus hand signals. NC report card data preview. Again, Ms. Geddes can help give some info or clarification on that. Bullying reporting form. I want to make sure you guys remember that this is what you're to be using whenever you're investigating bullying. And hopefully we have it set up now, thanks to Ms. Schuweiler, to give you a copy of your submission, so that right here down here at the bottom you get a copy of your responses, and that way you can keep it for your documentation, and then also as a system we will have it to show that we are investigating bullying. Attendance process is just a big general folder of anything related to attendance. One thing I did want to point out, and that's why I cleverly chose to put it in red. If you take a look at the attendance dates for the letters to go home, elementary and middle, we know that they have binders that they go home in, so probably that would be fine. With middle school and high school, whenever you're sending your progress reports home and report cards similarly, the process you use to get those to kids, we're trying to follow those same dates to be able to get attendance letters home. And we did combine the 3, 6, and 10 letters. Please let me know if your data manager, for whatever reason, is struggling with being able to get it working, I can have Miss Monday and or Miss West help them. But I want to make sure that you guys remember this document. Field trip medication forms. Guys, you got field trips coming up. Remember, these are very important for us, for our protection. Should there be a trip, please work with your school nurses, as you know that field trips are coming up. That are either an extended day or the overnight fashion. Make sure that you are communicating with them well in advance. I do not know if at this time Travel Tracker has been fixed to make sure that everybody that's supposed to be getting a notification is getting it. So that being said, just make that mental note that as you have those field trips approaching, make sure your nurse knows. Energy management, again, just a reminder about please turn it off if you're not using it, because we want to show savings this year so we can continue this program. Bus refusal survey, the reason I highlighted it also cleverly in red is so that you guys would remember to share them share this with your driver or drivers when they say that they're not able to find someone to cover when they need a sub. And similarly, it allows them to put in person by person who they contacted and what the reasoning they gave was. This helps provide documentation should there be a need for me to pursue something a little more beyond just a simple talking to. This provides some of that documentation that otherwise I would not have to be able to share with Human Resources. Beyond that, guys, the booster groups have financial audits coming due December 1. And I hope you guys know that if there is a need or you have just a question, email me, text me, call me, because I hope, if nothing else, I hope that you feel like you've got support and you've got somebody else that you can bounce ideas off of, somebody that is definitely in your corner. And I hope you feel that way regarding myself and all of my colleagues that provide support to the schools. But again, thank you. We appreciate you very much. Hopefully, I ate a lot of waffles, and hopefully you like the little gift that we got for you guys. Have a wonderful rest of the meeting, guys, and a great week. Thank you.